teams. It's so important. It's a momentum changer. And those two plays are huge. Obviously, the kickoff, you open up the season with a kickoff return for touchdown. That's huge. And then we flip field position on that one with the punt. So, it's a point of emphasis. It'd be big tonight, too.
The defense had problems against the Wildcat formation last week. This week against Battle, we will see a triple option attack. What was the emphasis for the defense this week with such a unique offense coming into town?
Yeah, anytime you play option offense, it's obviously a matter of responsibility and eye discipline, and I think that's what we lost last week. Some guys probably got in and tried to make some plays as opposed to fitting where they needed to, kind of the old Bill Belichick, do your job. We sort of got away from doing our job. It wasn't lack of effort by any means. It was just, sometimes you go to make a play as opposed to doing your job that maybe puts us in position to make a play as a defense. So as much as anything, it's just discipline, responsible football. Obviously, you got to always be responsible for the quarterback, dive, and the pitch. That's stopping option football 101. The thing with Battle is since we've played them, since they've been that option offense, they tend to take a shot early. So that's something you also got to be able to defend, and sometimes that's probably the hardest part.
Finally, Coach, what does your team need to do to come out away with this victory against the John Battle Trojans?
Start early and not let up. I think that's key. The point of emphasis was, kind of our motto for the season: all gas, no brakes. So we can't pump the brakes tonight.
All right, thank you, Coach Chris. More pregame coverage coming up next on Countdown to Kickoff.
Listen to Virginia High School football on your computer or mobile device at Spreaker.com/Bearcat Radio. You're listening to the best high school football in the Tri-Cities on the Bearcat Sports Radio Network. Bearcat Radio is brought to you by State Line Motors. Visit State Line Motors on Euclid Avenue in Bristol. You're listening to Virginia High Bearcat football on Spreaker Radio.
Welcome back to Bearcat Radio and our Countdown to Kickoff show on this Friday night in Southwest Virginia. As again, we hope you loved the interview there between the new addition to Bearcat Radio, Ryan Bradley, former quarterback. We'll be talking to him here in a little bit here on Bearcat Radio. But for right now, Travis, let's go to the results from last week, starting with that shootout in Honaker. It was quite a game between Honaker and Lebanon.
Yeah, Honaker took that win 35-28. Tigers take the 54th meeting all-time between those two schools. A good win for Honaker as they try to rebound from that dismal 3-7 campaign last year. I felt all along as if Honaker, that they were the better team, that they were going to win that game. But, last week for a time, Lebanon was in control. I think we still have a lot of questions about the identity of both of these teams after week one.
Plus the numbers for Lebanon. We've heard about those all offseason, about the low turnout. Richland's 42-7 victory over Gate City. A struggling Gate City squad got blown out there as the Tornado offense spun for 410 yards, and the defense held Gate City to 79. And we'll go to Travis for that Smith County matchup. What a fun one.
Oh, yeah, gosh, Lee, that was a big one. Yeah, Chilhowie laying it on the Marion Scarlet Hurricane, 33-6. Warriors snap a two-game skid to their Smith County rival there. They make a statement. They're on a mission. They're on a mission in 2018. Unfinished business is what they're saying up Interstate 81 in Chilhowie. The Warriors returned 20 of 22 starters back from that state runner-up team from a year ago. Seth Padgett comes back to Southwest Virginia to join Jeff Robinson's staff. Greg Sanchez, running back there, winning WCYB Player of the Week. A team full of talent. And unfortunately, we're going to be traveling up there to play these guys later on this month.
And that's going to be a fun one. Orange and Black versus Orange and Black. Another game from last week. Bluefield 38, Graham 14. Bluefield outpaced Graham in that annual rivalry in front of a packed Mitchell Stadium.
Yeah, the word on the street is they had somewhere around 7,000 fans at that game last week. What a turnout.
And, of course, the other game, Virginia High 37-30, as the Bearcats scratched and clawed their way to a victory over upset-minded Tazewell. And the other non-Southwest District results, Abingdon 34, John Battle 8, as Abingdon dominated Battle last week. It was the first career win for Garrett Ambergy, the new head coach. Wise Central 41, Eastside 27 in that ball game. And then Travis, give us a little update on our arrival from across the state line.
Yeah, we'll be getting ready for the annual VT game coming up next week. Tennessee High, they moved to 2-0 last week. Their tough defense pitches a shutout at home at the Stone Castle as they laid it on Lehigh 41-0.
Our alma mater, Patrick Henry, victors over Castlewood 37-8 last week. The Rebels started 2018 with a rout, quarter running back that is. Zach Brown broke loose for 183 yards. Ridgeview 47, Grundy 12 a week ago as the Wolfpack outclassed 1A Grundy for the fourth straight season. And in that other game, Travis, that was a Thursday nighter. I'll let you hit on that.
Yeah, that was the only other game in town on our end of the state last week is the Union Bears won 35-20 over the J.I. Burton Raiders. That 21-point third quarter allowed Union to surge on past. This game, the only other gig in town last Thursday night, so we kept a bit of an eye on it. Never really seemed like the Bears were in danger, but I'm sure the final score is much closer than what most people expected. At least it's a whole lot closer than I expected.
Yeah, it was a tight one there between J.I. Burton and Union. A Union team, that plays Richlands tonight. As we'll take a look at the Southwest District standings. Of course, the only Southwest District game from last week was Virginia High Tazewell, and it was a victory for the Bearcats. Again, 37-30. So Virginia High's first in the Southwest District, Tazewell last. Everybody else is in the middle at 0-0. Tonight in the Southwest District, we'll go to Travis for those, just run through those games that are going on tonight.
Yeah, he hit on that fact. Virginia High 1-0 after the win over Tazewell last week. Tonight is the start for the Bearcats of 5 straight non-district games. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, whether that's a blessing or a curse. Tonight in the Southwest Virginia, we've got other games going on. Union is at Richlands, 2 undefeated teams there. Graham will travel to Tazewell. Lebanon will go on to take Lee. One of those teams going to pick up their first win of the season tonight. Of course, another big battle up in Smith County. Marion takes on the Northwood Panthers. They're trying to restore the roar there in Saltville. Gate City travels to Abingdon. J.I. Burton at Chilhowie. And Boone will travel to the Castle to take on Tennessee High.
Wise Central with the bye week. Patrick Henry will play Rye Cove tonight at Rye Cove. And Shelby Valley 2-0. They'll be at Ridgeview for the rest of the action tonight. Now it's time for Know Your Opponent, the John Battle Trojans. As the young Trojans, they return just 2 starters on each side of the ball, most people considering that John Battle is in a rebuilding year after reaching the playoffs the last 2 seasons.
Interesting tidbit here on John. For whatever reason, I always thought the JSB, silly, I guess, from way back even when I was a kid. I always thought it was like John Saint Battle, John Stewart Battle. He was 56th governor of the Commonwealth, served in that role from 1950 to 1954. He's a graduate of Mars Hill University. Now, I throw that in there because we're going to be talking about that at halftime in our college football look-ahead. So just some pretty neat side notes to the game here tonight.
Yeah, some pretty interesting note for there. John Stewart Battle, the namesake for John Battle High School. Series history, 56 meetings all-time between these two squads. Virginia High leads the all-time series 44-11-1. The average score is Virginia High 26, John Battle 10. First meeting was October 25th, 1963 at Municipal Stadium. It was a 20-0 win for Virginia High. Municipal Stadium, just a fancy word for the Stone Castle, as Virginia High and Tennessee High shared the stadium for a while there. And at the Gene, Virginia High 19-4 against Battle, and Virginia High Battle hasn't won here at the Gene since 2012, a 17-13 victory. And we'll go to Travis for some of those highlights of the recent matchups.
Yeah, Virginia High, they've now won 4 of these games in a row, and like I said, has outscored Battle 151-43 in those meetings. Battle once won 4 in a row in this series from 2011 to 2013. That's their longest win streak. These two teams have played every year since 1963, so this is the 55th straight meeting. As a matter of fact, they once played each other in a playoff game. Virginia High has won 80% of the all-time games. Coach Michael Chris, 4-1 all-time against John Battle, his only loss in that very first season here at Virginia High in 2013. Once again, the Cats won last year's game 35-14, and Battle hasn't won a game in this series since that win in Coach Chris' first year, September 6, 2013, 25-10, a loss for the Bearcats up on Battle Hill.
Play style for John Battle tonight, a triple option attack. You'll see a lot of motion before the snap. Defensively, we'll see a 5-2-4, so 5 down linemen for their defense. The last game for them, a 34-8 loss to Abingdon. John Battle defense was torched by 350 yards by the Abingdon Falcons. That was 180 on the ground, 170 passing. A leg injury to John Battle quarterback Walker Osborne forced them to lose their signal caller early in the first half, so that played a big role. We still don't know if he'll play tonight either.
Right, yeah, he's going to be, as far as we know, a game-time decision. We'll know if he's suited up here directly.
So, for the first time in Bearcat radio history, of course, we do have a sideline reporter, Mr. Ryan Bradley, and if he gives us a thumbs up here, we'll see if he's good to go. So we got Ryan down on the sideline. He's going to tell us in a second what it's like to play in front of the home crowd here at home for the first time, and also what it's like to play against John Battle. Take it away, Ryan.
Well, it's a big game. John Battle, Virginia High, we're from Bristol, Virginia. Everybody knows each other. It's a high-energy game. Fans come. It's going to be packed all night. The energy that it brings is amazing, and the rivalry goes way back, and it's just going to be a big game. It's fun to be a player out on the field, and it's going to be fun to watch.
And what's it like playing in this game here at home, Ryan? You were a senior not so long ago. What's it like being here at home in front of this crowd?
Yeah, playing here at home, it's the best feeling ever against John Battle. You get all your fans out. The student section's packed and going crazy. The energy in the game, it's just amazing all around. I love it. I know the boys, the seniors this year, are going to come out and have a lot of energy in the game and play hard.
How does the energy feel down on the sideline? Of course, we're up here up top. What's it feel like down there?
I'm getting the vibes of the energy right now, just standing down here, and I'm not even playing.
Well, Ryan, we look forward to talking to you throughout the game. Your insight, I'm sure, will come in handy being under center like you were the last few years for the Cats.
Yeah, I'm excited to be down here.
All right, we'll continue the pregame show now, and we thank Ryan there for checking in with us. Definitely unique to have a sideline reporter. I think everything went well for the first run.
Yeah, he sounded good. He's excited, like I say, former Virginia high school quarterback from a few years back, so excited for him. We know he still knows some of these kids out here playing, so that's going to give us a little bit of a unique perspective, so we thank him for coming on board here at Bearcat Radio and helping us out.
Stat comparison for tonight's game. Offensively, two totally opposite weeks for the teams. John Battle just 8 points in the last game. Virginia High had 37. Only 138 yards of total offense in the last game for Battle. Virginia High 364. Of course, 296 of those yards were in the first half of the Tazewell game. 100 yards passing for the Bearcats in the last game. They were just 5 for 15 passing as Jamie tried to throw a couple of deep balls, just missing on a couple. 33% is that total. Third down, we were 40%. Ran for 2 touchdowns, passed for 1. We had 15 first downs last week. 1 fumble, 1 interception. And, of course, fourth downs, we never had to face any. So, offensively, we had a pretty good run at it. John Battle is averaging 96 yards. Of course, that was in the first game on the ground, then 42 passing. Rushing-wise, they ran for 1 touchdown. So that's really all that stands out offensively. Now, defensively, of course, Battle giving up close to 250 yards per game going into that Abingdon game. Virginia High allowed 220 rushing yards last week, 95 on the ground, 30 total points. Of course, the bulk of those coming in the second quarter. But as we go ahead and look at the way this game stacks up, a couple key players to watch, of course, for the Bearcats is going to be Jamie Lathrop and how well he plays in the offense under Coach Belcher this season.
Yeah, we got to see if he can find a little more consistency than what he had in the first week. I mean, he did fine handing the ball off. There wasn't any issues there, but we certainly had some issues in the center-to-quarterback exchange, and we think that may even play a little bit of more role tonight as our starting center isn't dressed for the game this evening. So we're going to see what kind of impact that's going to have. We just got to get that passing game going a little bit. Maybe Lathrop can find his rhythm tonight and hit on a little bit better passes.
And everybody lined up down on the field as the Bearcats get set to take the field through the tunnel. They've set it up in this end zone now in the left corner of the end zone instead of straight down the walkway behind the goalpost, so a little bit more interesting there. They've got smoke coming out of the tunnel. But with that, Travis, let's go to a couple keys for tonight's game. I know getting closer to kickoff, so we'll have to sort of speed it up just a little bit.
Well, we expect Battle to show a most unusual form of the triple option like we've talked about already while on the offensive side of the ball. Quarterback's going to line up in both a pistol and in a deeper shotgun set. Defensively, the